friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Kristen and this is Mama's Reading Nook. I know I have been gone for a very long time and I'm pretty sure technology hates me because I had filmed a vlog for last week and all of the footage has disappeared. I don't ask questions, I just shake it off and start over. But yes, I've been gone for quite some time and all I can say about that is life was lifing. We'll just leave it at that, okay? Life was lifing. But I'm back and I am trying my best to stay on top of things. I am here, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to shift things around a little bit and see kind of where we're going. I have some ideas for some videos, but we'll see how it all goes, you know what I mean? And so let's talk a little bit about the month of July because the month of July has 2 readathons involved in it. I am currently doing Summerween, but I have told myself for a long time, and if you've been here for a long time, you've heard this, I am not going to tie myself down by the length of readathons. So I am basically taking the entire month of July to get Summerween done, and then also we are doing round 2 of our bookwormathon on my Discord with my besties. And so we're taking our dragons on another adventure. Or their first adventure, actually. So back in March, we created our dragons, and now we are going on our first adventure with our dragons, and that involves reading books and things of that nature. So, hi, how have you been? Have you been drinking water? Have you been sleeping? Sleep is also important, I've discovered. For my own mental health, for everybody else's mental health. Water is really good for your mental health and your health in general. So you should be drinking water, you should be sleeping. I have been in and out of some really rough reading slumps, and so I am ready to kick it back into high gear and get started. And also a couple of different things that I'll be doing is I'm focusing on my health, like my physical health. So you'll see a little bit more of me cooking, a little bit more of me trying to make healthier decisions and healthier choices. And then you might be seeing less of my kiddos. Charlie you didn't really see much of anyway because he doesn't really like to be on camera. He doesn't like his picture taken. Cadence is very much that kiddo that is wants to be in front of the camera, tells me all the time, Mommy, I want to be a performer. And so I will probably talk parenting a little bit just because they're both at these ages. Charlie's about to be 15 in September and Cadence just turned 7. And so they're both at the ages where things are amping up, things are getting hormones and growth spurts and independence, and all of this stuff is playing a nice little part in who they are. And so I will probably be talking a little bit about parenting, and I will be reminding you all, if you're a parent, even if you're not a parent, you can stick around and listen, but I will be trying to focus on not only telling you guys, but telling myself that I'm doing the best I can, I'm a good mom, I am trying, just like we all are, and parenting is hard and parenting is exhausting, and definitely parenting working full-time and then also trying to do this as a hobby. It's all a lot, and so that's why I am not going to put parameters on my readathons, or I'm not going to focus on I need to get this book done by this day. It's just going to be me chilling, relaxing, bringing in the vibes. You know how it goes. Not much is going to change in that regard, but like I said, I am going to focus more on showing you kind of guys my health journey as we go on and what that means for me. Like I have a stationary bike in my office now, so I'll be working on that. I'm gonna get on it a little bit later. I'm also doing more protein shakes, more protein coffees, things of that nature, eating healthier, making chicken, making other things. And so I will bring you along for that journey as well. And then of course, parenting, right? That's kind of where we're at. So first things first, like I said, we're going to talk about July. So right now, Summerween is hosted by Gabby Reitz, and she does this every year. And it's basically just focusing on reading spooky stories in the month of July because we're closer to Halloween, and that's just, you know, spooky season, Christmas, that's my jam, that's where I want to be. And so I am ready for all the spooky vibes, and I'm getting them for sure. So for that, here is my TBR. Let me put it right here. And I have already read Survive the Night. I had gone into this great big explanation in my last clips in regards to that book, and now I'm going to do that again. So like I said, I've already read Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is about a girl named Charlie who had her best friend killed, her best friend and roommate killed in, she didn't have her killed. She was killed, she was murdered, and there's a lot of grief, a lot of sadness because the two of them have gotten into a very large fight before her roommate slash best friend was murdered. And so Charlie is dealing with a lot of grief. Charlie is really struggling through school and has decided she's just gonna go home and she's not gonna finish. And so she goes to the ride board because this is set in 1991, so she doesn't have a car and you have to, you know, work together to find rides to and from places. And so she went to the ride board to say, hey, she's going home. This is where she's going. Let her know if you can take her there. And she gets a hit. And she gets a hit by a guy named Josh who is like, hey, I can take you. I'm going to Akron. You're going, you know, such. So they're leaving New Jersey to go to Ohio. And things get very weird. Things get very strange. There's lots of twists. There's lots of turns. I will say I didn't necessarily see the end coming. But there is a serial killer on campus. He is the campus killer, and he has killed 3 girls, one of them being her roommate and best friend. And so she gets in this car, and she starts to kind of suspect that this guy's the campus killer. Lots of things go on. Also, she's an unreliable narrator because she has a mental health condition that kind of makes her see movies in her head rather than maybe reality. So you're not real sure, is this really happening or is this just in your head? So it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. I love Riley Sager. I love the way he writes. This is my 3rd or 4th Riley Sager book. I have read this one. I have read Lock Every Door. I have read The Only One Left, and I have read Home Before Dark. And I enjoyed all of them. I like his writing style. He writes a really great thriller, and the ends always seem to twist in a way that I didn't see coming. So I highly recommend this book. This was great. So this one is complete for Summerween. Other books that I'm working on, I have started reading and listening to Murder Road by Simone St. James. I am almost halfway through. This book is following a couple who has recently been married. They are driving to a resort for their honeymoon, and they end up on this very deserted road, and they pick up a hitchhiker, only she's not really hitchhiking, she's just walking, and she's walking very slow, and they see her on the side of the road. They offer her a ride, and he finds out that she's actually been stabbed, and then at the hospital she dies. So the couple is now being investigated for a murder, but they didn't do it, and so they decide to throw themselves in and start kind of investigating what's going on this road, because now it's less about like other girls have gone missing, other people have gone missing on this road and have been murdered on this road, and so now they kind of want to know what's going on. And it's not just, doesn't appear to be just as simple as it looks. Like there's not just some guy out there snatching kids and killing them. It seems like there's more of a sinister kind of psychological paranormal thing happening as well. So I'm enjoying this. I am, like I said, I'm almost halfway in, and it's really interesting to read. So that is currently another book I'm working on for Summerween. And then the other books that I'm going to read for Summerween are the Saturday Night Ghost Club. This is a comedy, I think. I can't read that. They put a sticker. The library put a sticker on it. So this one says, I don't really know what that much this is about, but it says growing up in the 1980s Niagara Falls, a seedy but magical, slightly haunted place, Jake Baker spends most of his time with his uncle Calvin, a kind but eccentric enthusiast of occult artifacts and conspiracy theories. The summer Jake turns 12, he befriends a pair of siblings new to town, and so Calvin initiates them all into the Saturday Night Ghost Club. But as the summer goes on, what begins as a seemingly lighthearted project will uncover mysteries darker than any of its members, young or grown, had imagined. With the alternating warmth and heartbreak of the best coming-of-age stories, the Saturday Night Ghost Club is a note-perfect novel that establishes Craig Davidson as a remarkable literary talent. So I'm excited to read it and kind of see what happens. I enjoy little ghost stories, and I enjoy coming-of-age stories. I read The Body a long time ago. I feel like it was a long time ago, by Stephen King, and I felt like that was a good coming-of-age story. I feel like this is a good coming-of-age story, so I'm I'm excited to read that one. And then for something that's a little bit more young, it's a middle grade, and it's The Curse of Eelgrass Bog by Mary Averling. I'm reading this one as well, and this one says nothing about Kess Pedrock's life is normal, not her home. She lives in her family's unnatural history museum, not her interests, hunting for megafauna, fossils, and skeletons, and not her best friend, a talking demon's head in a jar named Shrunken Jim. But things get even stranger than usual when Cress meets Lilu Starling, the new girl in town. Lilu comes to Kess for help breaking a mystery curse, and only clue she has leads straight into the center of Eelgrass Bog. Everyone knows the bog is full of witches, demons, and possibly worse, but Kess and Lilu are determined not to let that stop them. As they investigate the mystery and uncover long-buried secrets, Kess begins to realize that the curse might hit closer to home than she'd ever expected, and she'll have to summon all her courage to find a way to break it before it's too late. So I'm excited to read that one as well. So then lastly for Summerween, I want to get rid of this sticker. That's what I want to do. This has one of those, I got it from Books A Million. I got this book from Books A Million, and it had one of those big like bargain price book stickers. And I don't have any Goo Gone, so maybe I'll go over to my dad's. He lives 12 houses away. He can probably give me some Goo Gone. Anyway, it's still got the icky stuff from the sticker on it, and I'd like it to go away. Anyway, so last but not least for I have two more I'm reading for Summerween. This one for Summerween is by Kate Alice Marshall, and it's These Fleeting Shadows. It has been out, see there's a sticker. It's been out for a while, and I have been wanting to read it. I like Kate Alice Marshall. I've read a couple of her books, and I've really enjoyed it. I like her writing style, the way she brings up like the environment and like the world building and just creating a kind of creepy, sinister situation with the stories that she puts you in. So this one is Helen Vaughn doesn't know why she and her mother left their ancestral home at Harrowstown Hall, called Harrow, or why they haven't spoken to their extended family since. So when her grandfather dies, she's shocked to learn that he has left everything, the house, the grounds, and the money to her. The inheritance comes with one condition. She must stay on the grounds of Harrow for 1 full year or she'll be left with nothing. There is more at stake than money. For as long as she can remember, Harrow has haunted Helen's dreams, and now those dreams have become a waking nightmare. Helen knows that if she is going to survive the year, she needs to uncover the secrets of Harrow. Why is the house built like a labyrinth? What is digging the holes that appear in the woods each night? And why does the house itself seem to be making her sick? So yeah, that'll be fun. Reminds me a little bit of Inheritance games, but spooky. And then last but not least, I am also reading, it's on my Kindle, I'm reading Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives. I am not going to get into too much detail because it is the sequel to Clown in a Cornfield. Clown in the Cornfield, which was a slasher, campy slasher horror book that felt more like a movie where clowns just kind of terrorized a town, and it's a fun little read. Let's just leave it at that. So then we're going to move into Bookwormathon, which again, I'm gonna try to take my time with. There's other things going on with this one too. There's reading sprints, there's a movie night, we're watching Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe, and there's a couple of other things going on with it. So this one will be a little bit more involved, but I'm gonna be trying to keep it as Summerweeny as possible because I'm kind of trying to make the month of July like the spooky month for me for this time. So like Justin and I, we watched It with some Discord friends, the first part, and then we're working on trying to figure out a time to watch the second part. We started a paranormal kind of documentary that we're watching, and we're just kind of trying to keep things spooky for myself. And so yeah, I've been watching some old Summerween vlogs. My ambiance rooms have been fall themed, spooky themed. So I'm trying to keep that spooky vibe going throughout the month of July because I plan on Summerween going throughout the month of July. And so for this one, go ahead and throw up my TBR here, my little what I created. So for this one, we had to decide whether or not we were going to go into the caves or if we were going to go deep diving in like the ocean. And I decided to go to the caves. So with that is a set of prompts. obviously. So for this one, we had to read a pirate book, we had to read a book in the dark, we had to read a book with a weapon on the cover, read a book with a jewel on the cover, and then do a physical activity of some kind. And so that's where this is coming in. So with this one, it also comes with a buddy read. And so for the buddy read, we are reading Children of Ragnarok by Cinda Williams Shima. This one is like Asgardian, I can kind of tell. It's going to be interesting to read. I'm excited. This one is following Eric Halverson, Liv, his stepsister? His half-sister, Liv, and then also Regine. And so this says, since Ragnarok, the great war between the gods and the forces of chaos, the human realm of the Middle Lands has become a desperate and dangerous place bereft of magic. 16-year-old Eric Halverson is among the luckier ones. His family has remained prosperous, but he stands to lose everything when he's wrongly convicted by a rigged jury of murdering his mother and stepfather. Also at risk is Eric's half-sister Liv, who's under suspicion for her interest in cider or magic. Then a powerful Jarl steps in. He will pay the blood price if Eric will lead a mission to the fabled Temple of the Grove, the rich stronghold of the word spinners and the last practitioners of sorcery. Spellsinger, musician, and runecaster Regin Eklund has spent her life performing at alehouses for the benefit of her master, Asgar, a fire demon she is desperate to escape. After one performance that amazes even herself, 2 word spinners in the audience make Regin an irresistible offer. Return with them to the temple to be trained in cider, forever free of Asgar. Eric's, Liv's, and Regine's story converge in New Jotunheim, a paradise fueled by magic and the site of the temple. They soon realize that a great evil lurks beneath the dazzling surface and that old betrayals and long-held grudges may fuel another cataclysmic war. It will require every gift and weapon at their command to prevent it. So this one will be interesting. I've always been kind of intrigued by like Thor and Ragnarok and Asgard and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping I will enjoy that. It's a chunker. It's a chunker. And then for a book that for my pirate book, I'm going to read one that's been on my TBR for a while, and that's Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I know a lot of people already know about this book. It's supposed to be like Princess Bride meets Stardust, Neil Gaiman's Stardust. So I'm excited for this. So we're following Tress, and it's the only life she's ever known is on her emerald green ocean island, and it's been simple with the simple pleasures of collecting cups brought by sailors from faraway lands and listening to stories told by her friend Charlie. But when his father takes him on a voyage to find a bride and disaster strikes, Tress must stow away on a ship and seek the sorceress of the deadly Midnight Sea. Amid the spore oceans where pirates abound, can Tress leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing a sea where a single drop of water can mean instant death? So I'm excited to read this one. I've heard nothing but wonderful things, and I've enjoyed reading Brandon Sanderson lately. So I am excited. So then for Weapon on the Cover, I had already read a book for a Weapon on the Cover for the previous one that we did, and that was Assistant to the Villain. So I don't have to do that one. It just automatically gives my character bows and arrows. So I don't have to do that one. Check, check, done. Don't need to do that prompt. And then for a book in the dark, I'm hoping to read Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This one is his most recent release, and I'm very excited because this is about a guy who comes back to his town a long time after his friend went missing in the middle of the night. Like they cut there was a slice in the tent and the kid was missing and they never found him. So he ends up returning home. We don't know what's returning him home, but he comes home as an adult and he starts to kind of see Billy. And so he starts to investigate what happened to Billy, what is coming, why is he seeing Billy, that kind of thing. So I'm excited. I love Riley Sager, as I said. I'm really looking forward to this one. It was on my anticipated reads for 2024. So I'm very excited. And then last but not least, the one with the jewel on the cover, I will be reading Heartless Hunter, the Crimson Moth Book 1 by Kristen Ciccarelli. I've heard nothing but good things about this as well. And it says, enemies to lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love in best-selling author Kristen Ciccarelli's latest romantic fantasy. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. He's a notorious and unforgivable witch hunter loyal to the revolution, and too late, Rune realizes she might be falling for him. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Rune represents, but when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circles by pretending to court her. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shallow facade is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like his perfect match. Except what if she's the very villain he's been hunting? Dun dun dun. So I'm excited. I'm excited to read that one too. So that, my friends, is all the books that I am planning to read for the month of January. I'm also currently reading, I picked up, because I could not help myself, I picked up The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley at the library as well. This is not going to fit into anything, obviously, but I couldn't help myself. I had heard really good things about this book. I have I've read one of Lucy Foley's book. I've read The Paris Apartment and I was not impressed. And I started to listen to the guest list, but I was not impressed by that one either. So I'm hoping that this one kind of changes it, because I've heard really good things, and I'm hoping that that one changes my opinion. I'm on page 96, so I've already started this one, so I'm reading one for Summerween, which is Murder Road. I also started Clown in a Cornfield on my Kindle, because I've kind of started reading my Kindle at bedtime, and then when I'm out and about, because it fits into my purse. And so I've started reading Clown in a Cornfield, and then I just decided to pick this one up too. It's kind of short. It's a little over 300 pages, so it shouldn't take me too long to finish it, I would hope. But I picked up this one. It's interesting. It's definitely going in different directions, and I'm not quite sure where it's going exactly, but this manor was created and all of these rich people have come to stay at it, and they're all very weird, and you're following very different perspectives, and there's apparently like something going on in the woods. I don't know. I'm hopefully gonna figure it out though. We'll see. So that's really the only updates I have for you right now. I don't really have anything else going on tonight, so I'm probably going to be reading and watching an ambiance room. I am gonna get on my stationary bike at some point. I have to go make Kaden some chicken nuggets because she asked me to. She came in and asked me to make her some chicken nuggets. I'm gonna go do that. And then we're gonna kind of go from there. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye. So I was eating my lunch and I'm watching Gavin, his first Summerween vlog, and I realized I actually didn't tell you guys the prompts for Summerween and why I picked the books I picked. So the prompts for Summerween, I'll like stick them over here, is to read a book in the dark, read a thriller or horror book, read a book with a night sky on the cover, read a book with 5 words in the title, and read a book that takes place in the summer. So for the 5 words, it's the Saturday Night Ghost Club. Also takes place in the summer. So, boom. So that's that one. And then a thriller horror was Survive the Night by Riley Sager. The night sky and on the cover is These Fleeting Shadows. And then I don't know which one I'll read in the dark, but then I did The Curse of Eelgrass Bog also because there is 5 words in the title. And then we're doing Murder Road because there is also a night sky, barely, but it's on there in the cover. And maybe I'll read this one in the dark tonight. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So there you go. That's all the prompts. I realized I didn't tell you that. I'm gonna get back to my lunch. Bye! He's a little beggar. Yeah. He wants my lunch. Don't ya? Don't ya? If you haven't met my dogs, this is Heath. He's a puppy. He's a little one. Yeah. I know. The other old lady went somewhere else. Reese's! What? Oh. This is the young one. And then, oh, there she is. There's the old lady. That one's Reese's. She also likes to eat my food. Try to eat my food. Welcome back. It is now Tuesday, and it is by far one of the rainiest days we've had. We are getting what's basically coming up from the hurricane. We're getting all that rain that's left over, and it kind of headed our way. So it's going to be raining all day today. It's cool It's cool down outside, which is nice, but it definitely is not going to be a beautiful day. You all are currently sitting in my bookshelf because, as you saw yesterday, I kind of got a wild hair up my butt and decided to reorganize, reshift, rearrange, and clean my shelves. So that is what I did. I also took the twinkle lights down from the edges because they were all dying and I didn't have batteries to replace them, and that would just get expensive. So I just wrapped them up and put them somewhere until, you know, maybe they can be of use again. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I did that to these shelves, and then the ones over there, I cleaned them up nice and moved things around. Ignore the closet. That is like hoodies and jackets, and Cadence's toys are in the bottom. And then there's like things on the top shelf that have to be, that are cadences that she has to kind of do with assistance or monitored. Like, you know, there's glitter glue up there and a couple of crochet kits that she needs to do. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, but I wanted to give you an update because I don't have the book on me right now, but I finished Murder Road. Very good. I give it 4 stars. There was a lot more paranormal stuff in that than I was expecting, which was nice because a lot of thrillers, I like paranormal stuff. I like ghosts. I think it makes it a little bit more trippy, a little bit more freaky in my opinion. And so I had a good time with that aspect of it. And what was interesting to me is also, like, when you also with books like that, you expect, people think it's paranormal, but then the author switches it and it's not paranormal stuff. It's something completely understandable and relatable. And so it was fun. It was interesting. It would make a really good movie. I think it would, but it was good. So I finished that one, 4 stars. Very nice, very nice. And then I am still working through Clown in a Cornfield 2. I am probably going to be reading that at night, even though that seems kind of dumb considering I don't really like clowns. Clowns just naturally make me uncomfortable. But these are campy and silly enough that they don't bother me, but there are parts of them that make me go, ugh. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'll probably be reading that at night. I am also still, I'm hoping to finish up The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. And if I don't do that one, I'm probably gonna move on to the Saturday Night Ghost Club because it is relatively short. So it's only, don't spoil it, don't spoil it, don't spoil it. Let's see, acknowledgements. Don't spoil it, don't spoil it, don't spoil it. It is 206 pages, so I can probably fly through this one. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and read that one. Since Lucy Foley isn't on any of my TBRs, I'll just probably put her on the back burner for right now, see how it goes. Something else I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to give you a bookshelf tour because I haven't done that in a while, and it'll give you kind of an idea of like books that I'm interested in and things of that nature to see if there's anything maybe you're interested in. I will say a lot of these books have not been read. So you're gonna get a look at my TBR too. And you'll get a look at some of my little stuff I have on my shelves. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna manhandle you like I do. So as you can see, this, my sister got me these for Christmas. So Paris and New York, because I have been both to Paris and New York and I've greatly enjoyed it. And then I really like these, you know what? I really like these signs. I have 2 of them. I have this one and then I have one that says it's not hoarding if it's books. So, and it's got a dragon on it. So up here we have all of the Harry Potter stuff. Got a Hedwig and a Gryffindor Squishmallow, and then there's Dumbledore hiding in the pretty flowers, and there's Hagrid hiding in the flowers. And then again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, those dust jackets are from Nerdy Ink. So if you get a chance to look at it, I would. They're pretty great. And so then I moved my, this is like my, let me move Voldemort and the Dementor back where they were, because you guys were back in this corner a minute ago. So this is my like thriller horror section. And so you have Grady Hendrix, who's one of my favorites. Anne Rice, this one is my favorite of hers. I haven't read a lot of Anne Rice books recently. I was crazy into her when I was in high school and college, but that has since changed. This one I haven't read yet. I'm kind of wanting to read it in September because I mean it's called The September House. This one is wonderful. Please pick it up if you get the chance. This one I just read. This one I read. This is the sequel. Well, this is book 2 in a series. I read Butcher and Blackbird in May and absolutely loved it. And so this one was gifted to me, as you know, if you saw one of my previous videos. So that is on here as well. Move my little gremlin. The Hacienda, The Daughter of Dr. Moreau. Both I have not read yet. Killers of a Certain Age, I have not read yet. And then Masters of Death, which by Olivia Blake, which I have not read yet. So that is my thriller horror shelf. And then this is my romance shelf. So you have my little gnome buddy down here, but this is, you know, Ashley Poston. I've read Dead Romantics, have not read 7 Year Slip yet. I have read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I have read The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I have read Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is probably one of my favorites. It's probably one of the best queer romances I have read. I have not read this one yet. I have not read Icebreaker yet. I have read Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and I really, really enjoyed it. Another really great LGBTQIA queer representation in that. These 3 books I have read. I'm going to put my family up there. These 3 books I have all read. They are quite wonderful. I'm pretty sure I did a spiel of those in another video. Probably when I got this one as a gift for my birthday. So these are, it's a set, it's 3 books, and you follow characters from this book into this book, characters from this book into this book. So yeah. Alone with You in the Ether by Livy Blake. Haven't read it yet. The Bromance Book Club. These 4 books, and I have the 5th one. I have a Romantic Holiday or whatever it's called. Or a Very Romantic Christmas, whatever you want to call it, but my friend has it and is going to read it, hopefully. I've read this one. I've read this one. I still need to read these 2. All of them are good. It is a series about men who are doing a romance book club in order to get to know their women better, basically, or to start romantic relationships, things of that nature. But there's always some other drama going on. They're still really good though. Undertaking of Heart and Mercy I've read, very good. Book Lovers by Emily Henry is one of my favorites. Beach Read, Happy Place, and Funny Story. I have read all 4 of those. And then we have a copy of The Princess Bride over there, which I have read a couple different times. So, and then we'll come down here. This is just kind of like my mishmash, pish-posh shelf. It's a lot of fantasy, and maybe some literary stuff, but not much. These 2 books are part of the Every Heart a Doorway series. So I have Every Heart a Doorway, and then Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I have read at least 2, if not 3 more of these books. I just don't own them yet. This Woven Kingdom I have not read yet. A River Enchanted I have not read yet. The Cruel Prince I have read, and then this is the sequel, The Wicked King, which I have not read yet. I have read Legends and Lattes. I started Bookshops and Bone Dust. I did not finish it though. The City of Dreaming Books. I started this book. I have not finished this book. It is a lot, and it's a lot of words, and it's not, you know, it's very wordy, so we'll see. This book I actually got free and I never actually heard of it. Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune. Don't really quite know what it's about, but I entered a book reading challenge and they gave me that book for free. Copy of The Measure, and then Lore Olympus Volume 1, along with my TBR jar, which I haven't pulled from recently, A Plant I Cannot Kill, and my cute little mushroom cottage. All right, so that is that shelf. So we'll take a little walk over here. That is not my family. That is stock pictures of that is stock pictures of someone else's family. I am still in the process of getting pictures for that. So this is like my special editions fancy pants shelf, or my book of the month shelf, as you can call it. Another plant I cannot kill. That is Gizmo. We love Gizmo. So starting over here, we have Gothicana, which I have not read yet. It's got purple sprayed edges. I haven't read that one yet. This is my Illumicrate version of Starling House, which I read. It's got black sprayed edges, and then it's got beautiful markings there. And then this cover is actually plastic, and when it comes off, the dust jacket just has the house on it. This is my most recent Illumicrate one of Jade and Dragons. It's actually really pretty as well. I obviously have not read it yet, but I love me some sprayed edges. Lee Bardugo, have not read it yet. The Familiar. Fourth Wing, we love Fourth Wing. Obviously, I've read that one. This is the little dragon that Charlie made me that sits on my Fourth Wing books. Obviously, Iron Flame. I have read Iron Flame, black sprayed edges. It's very, very good. And then, I don't know if anybody has paid attention, but Rebecca Yaros revealed the cover of Onyx Storm, which is book 3, and it comes out in January. And yes, I have already pre-ordered it. So then these are my Book of the Month books. I have gotten rid of several of my Book of the Month books. I have donated them or sold them. So this is Ministry of Time, which I haven't read yet. Fate, Ink, and Blood, which I haven't read yet. And then The Wishing Game, which was probably one of my favorites that I got from Book of the Month by Meg Schaefer. She's releasing another book, which I need to get my hands on. It was a Book of the Month pick, but I have since paused my Book of the Month just because I'm trying to save some money. So I don't have Book of the Month right now. And then, of course, Butcher and Blackbird, which I absolutely loved. I highly recommend that if you're into serial killers killing serial killers and falling in love with each other. All right, so then this is like my fantasy shelf. This one and this one are like fantasy, you know, magic, that kind of thing. This is something that Cadence painted me. So we have my TJ Klune books, The House in the Cerulean Sea, Under the Whispering Door, and The Lives of Puppets, all of which I have read. And then I'm getting a copy of his newest one that's coming out when I see him in September, so that'll be exciting. When the Moon Hatched, Book 1, haven't read it yet. How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. I started reading this, I have not finished it. It's good, it's funny, it's about a girl who keeps getting, it's like Groundhog Day. She keeps getting sent back to this random world and her task is to kill the Dark Lord, but he keeps killing her first. And so now she has decided she's going to become the Dark Lord because that's how she's going to keep herself from dying. This is a cute little thing that my husband had gotten me. I just replaced the twinkle lights. It's a quote from Harry Potter. Thistlefoot, I have started reading it, haven't finished it. Gilded Wolves, I have read, and I really enjoyed. And then this is the sequel, The Silvered Serpents, which I have not read. The Lost Apothecary, very good. The Savage Song, very good. We're getting into the Schwab section of my books here, and I've read all of these except one, and she's one of my favorite auto-buy authors, so I highly recommend any of these books that you're about to see. So this Savage Song, I have read, it is very good. I need to buy the sequel. It's a duology. I have read both of these, Vicious and Vengeful. I think these are some of my favorites just because it's very different from anything else she has written. I highly recommend these. The Near Witch I got for my birthday. I have not read that one yet, but I want to. And then I also highly recommend this entire series here. Conjuring of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, A Darker Shade of Magic. These three books are phenomenal. They're beautifully written. The characters are amazing. The relationship dynamics, things of that nature. And then this one, The Fragile Threads of Power, is technically book 4, but it starts... What we thought was it would be a totally different set of characters, but it's not. And it's very, very good. But it's set several years after these three, but it's all part of the same universe. And then this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I absolutely loved, and it was one of the first V.E. Schwab books I read, and I think that's why I loved it, is because it was one of the first books of hers I read, and because it is so incredibly different than even anything else that she has written. This one is set more like modern day, not even modern day, but it's not, the only magic in it is that Addie LaRue is forgotten. Like, she lives forever, but someone would look at her, have a conversation with her, look away for a brief second, and then wouldn't remember who she was anymore. So it's very good. I enjoyed it, and I think that's why I liked it as much as I did, because what I'm hearing is a lot of people don't like this book, but they don't like this book because they've read these books, and these are all very different from this. So if you want to read this and you have not read any other V.E. Schwab books, I highly recommend reading this first and then moving on to the other series, because I still love this book, even if, you know, I've read the rest of them. And then we're going to come down here. This is a unicorn. Cadence painted me. Oh, okay. And then we have The Tainted Cup, which I have not read yet, A Tempest of Tea, which I have not read yet, An Education of Malice, which I have not read yet, The Unmaking of June Farrow, which I have not read yet, Encyclopedia of Fairies, I have read, and then Map of the Other Lands, I have not read yet. Want to, though. Powerless, have not read. Powerful, have not read. Seeing a theme here. Anatomy I have read, Immortality I have read. I recommend these books very much so. It is a duology. It's very, very good. I kind of loved every second I was reading them. move my stuff over here. Bring Me Your Midnights by Rachel Griffin. I have not read this one yet, but it is on my list to do so because I have read Wild as the Witch by her and The Nature of Witches by her. Both of these books are so wonderful. It kind of made her like an auto-buy author for me, so I'm very excited to read this one. Only a Monster I've not read yet. It's on my list to read this year. Half-Blood by Jennifer Armentrout. I have read the From Blood and Ash series, some of it, not all of it. It got to be a little bit too big for its britches and I gave up. It was hard to keep up with that, the series and then the prequels, and so I gave up on that, but we're gonna try this. This is more like her young adult series and it's got pretty purple edges. House of Salt and Sorrow I have not read yet. Hotel Magnifique I have not read yet. And then Dreadful, which is something I'm really looking forward to. It's got really cool sprayed edges, but I also have not read that yet. So this is just my office shelves. I'm not going to go into the living room and show you all those, but yeah. So there you have it. Welcome to my TBR. I need to spend some time reading the books I have on my shelves. And then those shelves are just, you have Justin's books. He's very into Westerns. So like this corner over here is his Westerns. This book, this part is coloring books, adult coloring books, Cadence coloring books, and then my gym thing that I do. And then this shelf is nonfiction books, and then that's all just more coloring books and crayons and stuff. So, and then I did move all of my my Court of Thorns and Roses, Sarah J. Maas, and then Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I love these series, so I moved them into a little bit more of a place of Anna. And then right here is where I put all of my classics. So, there you have it, friends. You have now gotten a little bit of a tour. I think I'm zoomed in. Oh. You don't need to be that close to my face, guys. So you've now gotten a little bit of a tour of my office, stationery bag, and that's pretty much it. So now you know what I still have to read and how many books on my shelves I have read and how many I have not. Welcome to my world. All right, so I'm gonna get back to work for a little bit and I'm gonna read the Saturday Night Ghost Club and we're gonna go from there. So I'll check in with you guys later. Goodbye. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. So I kept with the theme of Summerween today. I am in an orange dress. I was wearing like a black suit jacket and I have on my spooky shoes. So I was keeping up with the Summerween theme today when I went into the office, which was fun. So yeah, the only update I have for you is last night I started Clown in a Cornfield 2. and, well, not started, but read it in the dark, because one of the prompts is to read a book in the dark. And it's not that I got to a point that was creepy. There was one kind of creepy part to it, but I think it's the anticipation of the creepiness that is to come. You know what I mean? And it was just weird to read that in the dark. It was fun. It was interesting, but it was a little strange, and I don't know if I'll do it again. It might be the wrong book. We'll see. But I did read in the dark, so go me. I read about 4 chapters in the dark last night, because I started at chapter 5, made it to chapter 9. So, no, 10. I can't keep count of nothing. So yeah, so far it's fun. We're still seeing Quinn, and right now kind of what they're dealing with is a haunted tour thing has decided to take over the barn and the cornfield where bad things happened in the first one. And so,
Hi, Mommy.
hi, baby. They have turned it into like a spooky, haunted thing, and people are not okay with it because it's like they're playing on the tragedy that happened. So we'll see. It's interesting so far, but that's really all I've been doing. I have not picked back up the Midnight Feast just because I haven't had time, and I did get about 2 chapters into the Saturday Night Ghost Club, so we're working our way through that TBR. I'm hoping. Anyway, so tonight Cadence and I are going with my aunt to see The Little Mermaid, the live action one. Not the live action one, scratch that. The musical. We're gonna go see The Little Mermaid, the musical, at the Muni tonight. So that'll be fun. It'll be a good time. We're gonna do dinner first, and then we're gonna go to that. Otherwise, it's been a pretty quiet day. I worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, and it's been interesting. Things have been quiet. Things have been good. I am feeling good. There's not as many things going on in my life right now, which is nice. Justin's truck is out of commission right now, so that's made things a little harder, but his dad let him borrow his truck, so we got that going for us. And then this weekend, I'm very excited. I leave Friday, I come back Sunday, and I'm going to Kansas City, and we're gonna hit up some bookstores in Kansas City because my aunt and our friend Deb, we do a monthly book adventure, and we try to hit up as many indie bookstores in the area as we can rather than going to like Barnes & Noble or Books A Million. We have done that, and we would probably do it again, but we try to like support the indie bookstores, and so we've hit up a bunch of them in our area. I think we've hit up all of them in our area for the most part. We've gone to Iowa, we've gone to Columbia, we've gone to a couple different places, and so now we're gonna go spend the weekend in Kansas City and go to some indie bookstores out there. And then while I'm out there, I actually get to meet one of my book besties. I get to meet Taylor. I'll tag her page down below because she also has a YouTube channel, so I'll tag that down below. You can check her out, and then that'll be fun. She's gonna hook up with us on Saturday and hit up the bookstores with us, so it'll be a good time. I'm excited. I'm gonna eat some good food. I'm gonna relax. Justin's got the kids, so it'll be good, and he's got some projects he's gonna do around the house while I'm gone, which is nice. But for the most part, tonight, like I said, I'm going to the Muni, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing laundry because I am leaving on Friday, and then on Monday morning, bright and early, Charlie is leaving for a event in New Orleans. So I have to make sure he's got laundry and is ready to go for that. So welcome to momming hard. It's going to be a good time, though. He's going to have a good time, I think. He's never been... Aside from like going on trips with his grandparents, he's never been out of town without a parent. So this will be his first experience, and he gets to ride a chartered bus all the way down there. So they leave at like 6 a.m. on Monday morning, and then they don't come home until like 2 a.m. the 21st. So it's gonna be fun for everybody, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure he's gonna have a great time. And I've actually never been to New Orleans, so I'm only kind of jealous about that. He's gonna get to go there before me, but it's on my bucket list, so we'll see. But yeah, so for now, I guess I'm gonna read Clown in a Cornfield 2 in the daylight, and I'm going to chat with some of my friends on Discord, and I have to get Cadence ready to go, because as you could see, she was still in her pajamas. Because, you know, it's summer. We don't get dressed if we don't have to. Right? Right. Mhm.